Hello, as I promised, today I'm gonna head to fear. And what fear is an aversion stimulus of threat. I make it easy. Fear is something, it comes from many ways. And there's many different kind of fears. I'm gonna explain it to you real fast because when you can identify where fear comes from, you can deal with fear. And dealing with fear means you control your fear and your fear will not control you. Fear is a roadblock. Fear is a manipulator. Fear is controlling. So we should control it because we are in control. The first time of fear is about our environment or environmental events. The most fear we have is about animals, snakes, spiders, wolves. So we are aware of that. And when we are aware of it, we can prevent it. And if we prevent it, we don't need fear. It means if I walk and see 50 feet away a snake, I will not walk in that direction, I walk in a different direction. If I know at nighttime at this area of the forest there are wolves, I will not walk there, I will avoid it. So we control the situation, so we don't have to have fear. Another thing is the environmental fear. Environmental fear is, for example, we stand on a cliff and that goes a few hundred feet down, straight down. We have fear of height. We can avoid it. We just don't go to the edge of the cliff so we don't look down, so we don't need the fear. So you see, these are fears. They're normal because some snakes are poisonous, some spiders are poisonous, some wolves are wild and they can attack you. You can slip on a cliff and fall down. If we avoid that, we don't need the fear. So the fear in this area is a good alarm system not to approach the danger, so we don't need the fear. And I have here a little note. Uh, the second one is imaginative events. We imagine, we read something, we hear something, and we take ownership of it. And what happened when it happened here now, or when it comes here? I will give you an example. The wildfires in California. So the wildfires are, let's say, 25 miles away. Some people say, okay, I hope they get control of it and we're still safe here. Others develop fear and says, what about when the wildfire comes over here? So they create in their mind an event. It is fearful to them. They feed the fear in their mind. Understand what I'm saying? You have to see the circumstances. When you live in the middle of the city, there's almost no trees, no grass, nothing around. Very hard to get a wildfire there. But they imagine it could. So here we just have to be a little bit more aware where the real danger is and where we create it for ourselves. Okay? So here we control fear again to say, okay, everything is concrete around here, hard to catch a fire. Make sense so far? So the next thing I have written down is the environmental dangers. And they are very legit because there we cannot avoid and we cannot control them. What I mean by natural and environmental fears is earthquake, tsunami, things like that, natural catastrophe, tornado. We have no control. There is a fear is a little bit more legit because that can happen. And but it also, the fear here is, I say, a warning system. What can I do that it will not be so dangerous? You know, there is all kinds of rules. I don't want to bore you with them. How you can survive a tornado, and what you do in a matter of an earthquake, and so on and so on. We can educate ourselves and create more awareness. And the more awareness we have of the consequences when we take certain measurements, the less fear we need. Make sense? And then comes the most common fear. It is created in our mind by our imagination. That is fear of an examen, of a test. We become fearful, we call it even anxiety, and that is also the invitation. If we let the fear control us and not we control the fear, get a hold of it, that is also the invitation that the next fear kicks in, the fear of failure. Not needed. If you have a test or examination, study and be confident about it. And don't say, well, when I fail this and this, don't say that. Don't go there. Don't let the fear come close to you here. Just say, I studied and I'm going to go there and I'm going to do my best. I will not fail. I might not get an A, but I might get one. Who knows? But I'm going to make it. So you control the fear and anxiety for the test examen. You control it. And it doesn't control you. So you most likely will succeed because you invite. Your self-narrative says, I don't need to be afraid. I have the books here. I have online here. I studied it. I'm prepared for the test or the examen. Don't put an invitation out for the next fear. Like I said, I fail. No, no. Worst scenario, you get a little bit of lower grade, but you still pass. And then comes our next fear. We put in ourselves that we are not perfect. I want a perfect score. I want an A or an A plus. So what we do is here, we put ourselves under stress. And when we put ourselves under stress, fear comes in to not live up to the expectations we have on ourselves. Why do we have to have so high expectations of ourselves? What brings fear in? Yeah, it brings fear in that we cannot live up to our own expectations. So, to fight fear, and I say fight fear, the self-implemented fear is don't visualize. Do not visualize or imagine worst case scenario always. That has to do with negativity, and negativity brings fear as well. The fear of failure, the fear of not passing the test, the driver test, the fear of not uh, excelling and being perfect the first day in a new job. Get away from that. Just go and see best case scenario. Best case scenario is you. First of all, the you don't think worst case scenario. Here you do yourself already a favor. Here you control your mind, and your mind can control your fear. Look at a normal scenario. I do my best. And if you do your best today, you know what you didn't like to do today, you can better tomorrow. We learn constantly. And we can also learn to get a hold of our fears. Control our fears, not our fears control us. So the best exercise is always, if you get real fearful or have an anxiety, think right away of 5 beautiful places you would like to be. Beautiful on the beach, a park, a lake, or whatever. Then the next thing you do is imagine 5 or three is enough, beautiful sounds. It can be some music, it can be birds singing, it can be the noise of the ocean. And then the next step, think of 3 things you really enjoy eating. And the last thing, you think of 3 of your favorite people you would like to have right now to talk to. And the last point is, if you still have a little bit fear, talk to somebody and tell them your fear, but talk to somebody who doesn't feed you fears, who helps you to control your fears. And that's today on fear, and I see you soon.